The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you.
Jesus and his disciples set out for the villages of Caesarea Philippi. Along the way he asked the disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And he asked them again, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said to him in reply, "You are the Christ." Then he warned them not to tell anyone about him. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and rise after 3 days. He spoke this openly. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. At this he turned around, and looking at his disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan! You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." He summoned the crowd with his disciples and said to them, "Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and that of the gospel will save it." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today's first reading is drawn from the prophet Isaiah, and it's a series of poems known as the Suffering Servant. And as you know, it describes somehow how God has chosen somebody from birth. And the one he has chosen will serve God and lead his people Israel. But they are warned. The one who has been chosen by God will be rejected, will suffer greatly, and as you know, he will suffer martyrdom. That happened 500 years before Christ. And the one who is described somehow in this poem is Jesus, the Son of the living God, who came from God, who has been chosen to lead his people. And that's the connection between today's first reading and the Gospel. They set out to go to the villages of Caesarea Philippi. But you know, Jesus was wondering, "Whom do you say that I am?" They started to say what they learned from the books. John the Baptist, other Elijah, still others one of the prophets. "But you, my disciples, you have been with me. I have performed so many miracles. Whom do you say that I am?" Peter said, "You are the Christ," it means the Messiah in Hebrew, and the anointed Christ in Greek. "You are the Son of the living God." Of course, all those disciples were sure that they were now going into the glory of God. began to say, I have to fulfill the will of God. And the will of God is this one: the Son of Man must suffer greatly, be rejected by the elders and the scribes, and be killed, but by the power of God, he's going to rise again after 3 days. Of course, the disciples were shaken. How can we follow somebody with a loser, okay? No one would like to follow a loser. All of us would like to follow somebody in his glory, and to share the glory. Remember on the mountain, the transfiguration. He changed his face, which became dazzling like white. But again, the disciples wanted to remain in the glory of God on the mountain. He said, no, we have to go down. My hour hasn't come yet. The hour of suffering, passion, death, and rise from the dead by the power of God. So Peter said, no. We don't want this to happen at all, because you are the Son of the living God. You are powerful. How can we talk about this again? Jesus said, Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not God does, but as human beings do. Jesus did not say Peter is a devil, no. But he's saying, you want to prevent me from fulfilling the will of God. And the will of God is to suffer passion, to die, to be buried, and to rise again after 3 days. And that's when he started teaching them. You know who I am. I am the Christ, the anointed one who came from God. But you too, you have to learn who you are. You are following me. By following me, you must be ready to take up your cross and follow me. To lose your lives for me, for my sake, for the gospel. And that was not easy for them. It is not even easy for us. All of us are tempted from time to time, no? And all of us experience unfaithfulness, especially before God. There is a story of a man who went to Tyler. He saw a big truck, these Montana trucks now they are going high and high, And when you encounter one on the road, really it's like he's higher than everybody. So the man looked at the truck and said, looks nice. Let me try it. He entered the truck. He went around just, to feel. He was feeling good. But he was wondering whether he could afford to buy the truck. In the end, he was thinking, he said, let me take it and bring it home and show to my wife. The wife, when she saw it, she was like having a heart attack. We can't afford this. The man said, yes, I was tempted. And his wife said, you would have done like Jesus and say, get behind me, Satan. Whenever we are tempted, we have to act like Jesus. Get behind me, Satan. I know I cannot afford, but I know, even now, through your grace and mercy, I can overcome this sin. I can overcome temptation. We pray for each one of us today, really, to know who Jesus is. And to know that we too, we have to make an effort to take up our crosses and